Remember all those cute little things that made you fall in love with your partner? Well, over time, those special traits can often end up driving you crazy. So we went to a restaurant and asked people to name their biggest relationship pet peeves.
What drives me crazy about my wife.
What drives me crazy about my husband is how anal he is. He's got to be so organized.
The piles of stuff.
What drives me crazy about her is actually her parents.
He really bugs me when he calls me his sugar mama.
It really bugs me when she can't decide what to do.
I just want to ask him why he always has to be right.
Why do you have to burp at a nice restaurant at the dinner table?
What drives me crazy about her is when she snores at night while I'm sleeping.
When you pair a non-snore with a snore, it's like gravity and anti-gravity. It just does not work at all.
Well, they say don't sweat the small stuff, but where's the dividing line between the trivial and what's truly important?
Let's ask psychotherapist and relationship expert Robi Ludwig and Brian Balthazar, editor of the website popgoestheweek.com. We were talking about your last name so much I got it wrong. Balthazar, sorry. That really bothered me when the guy said about the I snore and she doesn't, because that's not something you can really control.
Yeah, and how does he know?
Right.
You know, she snores.
Yeah.
But that's a big one. In fact, sometimes couples will sleep in different rooms because the snoring really bothers their ears.
Right.
So, fortunately, there are things people can take to snore less now.
Yeah, but I think it's what's hard to define ones are those little ones like, I hate the way you leave a plate on your lap when you're watching television. Like, that's not a deal breaker, but you know, year after year.
I think it is a deal breaker.
Is
a
it?
food smacker is a deal breaker.
A food smacker.
You know food smackers?
Right.
You go to eat with
yes,
somebody
it's
and
true.
they're food smackers.
But you know this when you're dating.
Your mouth.
It's never marry a food smacker to begin with.
But the thing is, what makes us think there are not going to be pet peeves in relationships, especially someone you're living with? Because the bottom line is we want people to be us. And if you're not like me and in life in the same way, then you're wrong. And the bottom line is there is no right and wrong.
How do you,
Right, Brian?
So you're married or your partner is the guy who goes to the refrigerator and drinks out of the juice carton?
Yeah, that's gross.
But when is that? When is it grounds for
divorce?
Confrontation?
Irreconcilable differences?
There's a fine line between that irritates me and that irritates me and I wish you'd get hit by a car. Like, those are those people that, like, you know, if it's a pet peeve and I hate you for it.
Into the knives.
Which raises an interesting question. Is it really about stop leaving your socks on the floor, or is there something deeper to it?
And there's a cumulative
when
effect.
Everything about your partner annoys you, maybe it's not really the little things that are annoying
first of all, you have to say something about the little things, because we're kind of going through life, and how are we supposed to know what's annoying to somebody else? We don't necessarily know our habits are annoying to someone else. So you say, could you please not do that? Or could you please not, you know, leave the dirty dishes unwashed?
But if it becomes nagging, then it's like a kid in the car going, are we there yet? Are we there yet?
Wait a minute, Joe Marcus, do we have that sound effect?
No,
ding, 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 ding.
I was going to say the same thing. I agree.
No, because it turns into...
Say something, but don't nag incessantly. I agree.
And at one point, but you know what? There
is
no perfect, and there is no negative in any relationship. I love in the article how one woman divorced her husband because he left dirty things in the sink. Then she remarried, and her new husband left dirty things in the sink.
And she got over it.
And at one point, she said, you know, it's really about having a life partner. And at one point, it's a choice. You know, are you going to choose to let this creep in and make you miserable? Or are you going to look at the big picture and say, you know, I have someone who has my back?
That's right. Perspective.
And it's all about
and
perspective.
Cleaning house, it's that comes in a lot.
Maybe just hire a housekeeper.
Yeah, that'll save your relationship if you can. But these little things, like there's an old joke, you know, how many men does it take to mop a floor? And the answer is no one knows.
It's never been tested.
You know, you
We've never done that before.
These little things that make you crazy are like little kernels of unpopped popcorn.
Right.
Soon heat adds up. It's a big bowl.
I like that. Get them out of the way.
That's a very good analogy.
They say we should talk about these things. So since we're sort of married,
we're married on TV.
What bugs you about me?
Well, you know what bugs me. You know what bugs me? In the morning, before the show starts, Maggie comes in here and see, look at these you have gorgeous shoes on now, right?
Thank you.
But you usually come in with these nasty, funky slippers.
I don't want you to see my feet.
No, they're house slippers that, like from a bad sitcom.
Oh,
Throw
yeah.
them over. Look at this.
Oh, no. Don't show my slippers. No.
They're so
No.
This is what Maggie wears every morning to the set.
Do you know that I'm pregnant and these heels are very high?
See, we
no,
should be married,
but I did it
'cause I
even
wouldn't
before I
mind
was
that.
pregnant. Okay, I'm not gonna wear these.
It's about comfort.
What if I get nicer slippers?
That would be a huge improvement.
Maybe you should buy her new slippers.
Can I share something with
See,
you?
that's a good
Always
thought.
building bridges,
Thank
Robi.
you,
good
helping
thought.
people to
That-
shop. That's
there
my
you go.
job.
There are some mornings when he has, like, all morning long said 2 words to me,
Mm-hmm.
and then a beautiful actress comes on, and it's like, oh, Meryl, you are not only beautiful, but talented. And they all fall. Oh, Harry, how come you never tell me I'm beautiful and talented?
I think you know what?
implied.
Maybe I just take you for granted.
Yeah.
I think a little bit. Where's the romance?
Harry, is there something
Upgrade the
nice
slippers. Upgrade the slippers.
Is there
That
something
would be
nice
the
you want
first
to say
step.
to Maggie so she feels better?
I think you guys did a good job.
And I think you look beautiful. I think you look beautiful.
Thank you, Brian. Anytime you want to sit in for Harry,
That's it.
you are welcome. Brian
Weather-
Balthazar and Robi Ludwig.
Very good. Weather is here. Wish you were beautiful.
A lot happens early on The Early Show, weekday mornings on CBS.